Okay, get ready because today we're going deep into something truly fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
The Earth's energy
Mhm.
and how it might be affecting us all.
Yeah.
We've got all this really cool research and articles, and we're going to be exploring the planet's natural frequency.
Okay.
Some people even call it its heartbeat,
I like that.
and how
Yeah.
it interacts with everything from our
Yeah.
brainwaves
Uh-huh.
to get this
Well,
perception of time.
wow.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
But here's something to think about as we go.
Okay.
If everything is energy, right,
Right?
vibrating at all these different
Yeah.
frequencies, could we be influenced by the Earth's own energy field?
Mm-hmm.
And could our collective energy even influence the planet in return?
Interesting.
Just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll come back to it a little bit later.
Okay.
So,
So the Earth's energy, it's
yeah,
not like some mystical concept. It's this measurable frequency called the Schumann resonance.
exactly.
Yeah.
And, one of the sources that we're looking at,
Okay.
an article from Buckrail,
Mm-hmm.
it describes it as this steady
Steady.
7.83 hertz frequency,
Oh, wow.
almost like this constant hum that's
Mm-hmm.
been going on forever, for ages.
Right.
But here's the interesting part.
Okay.
It's been accelerating in recent years.
Yeah, that's right.
And what's interesting is that this 7.83 hertz frequency,
Yeah.
it's not just some random number.
Right. Yeah.
Scientific studies,
Right.
like some of the ones highlighted in this bioautonomy article,
Mm-hmm.
have shown that our brains
Our brains.
actually function best at that exact frequency.
That's right. Yeah.
So our brains are tuned into the Earth's frequency.
It seems so.
That's pretty wild.
It is.
What happens if the Earth's heartbeat speeds up?
Ah,
I mean, do our brains keep up?
that's the big question.
Yeah.
This research from the National Library of Medicine, it might give us a clue.
Okay.
They were studying something called heart rate variability, or HRV,
HRV.
which is basically a measure of the variation in time between each heartbeat.
Okay, so it's not just how fast our heart is beating,
Right.
but the rhythm.
The rhythm between beats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that rhythm shows how well your nervous system adapts to changes.
Oh, interesting.
They found that our HRV actually fluctuates in response to changes in solar and geomagnetic activity,
Wow.
especially during intense solar storms.
So our bodies are like syncing up with these cosmic events.
It seems so.
That's mind-blowing.
It is fascinating, yeah.
Well, what does that even mean for our health and well-being?
Well, some researchers think that these energetic shifts,
Uh-huh.
including those changes in the Schumann resonance,
Okay.
could be contributing to things like
Like what?
increased stress and anxiety.
Really?
There's an article from the Soul Frequency that talks about people experiencing fatigue,
Oh, wow.
a sense that time is speeding up,
Yeah.
even anxiety,
Oh.
all potentially linked to these shifts.
I've kind of felt that sense of time speeding up lately.
Really?
Yeah. It's like everything's just moving so fast.
Yeah, it's a common experience.
Wow.
And it all ties back to that idea that our bodies are really sensitive to
Yeah.
these subtle energy fields.
So if we're that sensitive to the Earth's energy,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything we can do to stay in tune with it,
Yes.
especially as it changes?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
And luckily, a lot of our sources offer some practical advice.
Okay.
First off, they all really emphasize connecting with nature.
Ah, good old Mother Nature
Right.
to the rescue.
Exactly.
Why is nature so beneficial in this context?
Well, remember how we talked about
Yeah.
electromagnetic pollution?
Yeah, all that noise from our devices and stuff.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
nature's like an antidote.
Okay.
It's got its own calming electromagnetic field
Yeah.
that helps to rebalance our energy. Okay.
And reduce stress.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, nature has
Mhm.
all these sensory experiences,
Right.
sights, sounds, smells
Yeah.
that ground us in the present moment,
Uh-huh.
which can be really calming and restorative.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just need to go outside and take a deep breath, and
Yeah.
then I feel so much better.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else we can do?
Well, a few of the articles,
Right.
including one from the Art of Living Retreat Center,
Okay.
highlight practices like meditation
Mhm.
as a way to help regulate our nervous system
Okay.
and harmonize our energy with the Earth's frequency.
So meditation to tune our inner instrument.
Exactly.
Got it.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about what we eat?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Does that play a role?
Food is so important.
Okay.
The articles from Sage and foodie-wise,
Okay.
both of them really dive deep into this concept of high-vibration foods.
Ooh.
The idea that what we eat can really impact our energetic state.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What are high vibration foods?
Think of foods that are just alive with energy,
Okay.
like fresh fruits and vegetables,
Okay.
bursting with vitality,
Uh-huh.
raw nuts and seeds,
Yeah.
packed with life force.
So ditching the processed junk.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And loading up on foods
Yeah.
that are close to their natural state.
I can get behind that.
Right.
Yeah.
The less processed a food is,
Yeah.
the higher its vibration tends to be.
Okay.
And the FoodieWise article even provides a list of both high and low vibration foods.
Oh, that's great.
So you can look into that further.
It's fascinating how all these sources,
Yeah.
from scientific research to articles on spirituality, they all seem to be saying the same thing.
Right.
This idea that we're deeply connected to the Earth's energy.
Yeah, it really is fascinating.
It is.
And the more we learn about these connections, the more we can make choices that support our well-being.
Right. Maybe even the well-being of the planet.
Speaking of the planet,
Yeah.
I'm really curious
Yeah.
to explore that connection further.
Okay.
What does the research say about how human activity might be impacting the Earth's energy?
Right.
I mean, is it all doom and gloom, or is there hope?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we'll delve into in part 2 of this deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Earth's energy.
It's amazing to think about all these connections we've been discussing.
It is, isn't it?
You know, our brains, our heart rhythms,
Yeah.
even our food choices,
Uh-huh.
all potentially influenced by the Earth's energy field.
Right. It really shows how connected we are to the planet
Yeah.
and how these subtle shifts in its energy can affect us.
Exactly. And speaking of shifts,
Yeah.
at the end of part 1, we were starting to talk about
Right.
human activity and
Yeah.
its impact on the Earth's energy.
You asked if it was all doom and gloom.
Or if there was hope.
Yeah. I mean, is there?
Okay.
We hear so much about pollution and climate change.
Right.
It's hard not to feel a bit pessimistic.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I think we have to remember
Okay.
that we're not just watching this happen.
Right.
We can choose how we interact with the Earth.
Okay. That's a bit more hopeful.
Right.
Yeah.
But how do we know
Yeah.
that human activity is actually impacting the Earth's energy?
Right. What does the research say?
Well, there's this fascinating article from the Times of India,
Okay.
and it talks about how the frequency of the Schumann resonance
Uh-huh.
is not only influenced by the size of the planet,
Okay.
but also by the types of atoms and molecules in the atmosphere.
So what you're saying is
Yeah.
that the composition of the atmosphere
Yeah,
affects the planet's vibration.
exactly.
And we're obviously having a huge impact on that.
Right. Things like pollution and climate change,
Yeah.
they're directly tied to human activities.
Uh-huh.
And they can really mess with the balance of the atmosphere.
Okay.
And that, in turn, can affect the Schumann resonance.
So it's like a two-way street.
Right.
Our actions affect the atmosphere,
Yeah.
which affects the Earth's energy,
Uh-huh.
which then comes back to us.
Right. Exactly.
A lot to think about.
It is a complex system,
Yeah.
but it's good that we're becoming more aware.
Right. Awareness is key.
The more we understand these connections,
Uh-huh.
the better choices we can make.
Okay, so let's talk about those choices.
Okay?
What are some things we can do
Right.
to, minimize our negative impact?
Yeah.
And maybe even contribute to a more positive energy field?
Well, a lot of the things we've already talked about can help.
Okay, like what?
Connecting with nature,
Uh-huh.
choosing those high vibration foods,
Yeah.
reducing our exposure to electromagnetic pollution.
Okay.
These are all ways to lighten our footprint, so to speak.
So it's not just about us feeling better,
Right.
but it's about the collective good.
Exactly. We have to care for the earth and care for ourselves.
Okay, it's a nice concept,
Yeah.
but is there any evidence
Uh-huh.
that we can actually have a positive impact?
Good question.
You know,
Yeah.
can we do more than just reduce the bad stuff?
There's an interesting article
Okay.
from the Soul Frequency,
Okay.
and it suggests that big global events
Okay.
like natural disasters or periods of intense social change
Wow.
can actually cause spikes in the Schumann resonance.
So those events are like sending shockwaves through the planet's energy.
That's one way to look at it.
Okay, that's intense.
It is, yeah.
But here's the interesting part.
Yeah.
It's not just negative events, right?
Uh-huh.
The article says that moments of global unity,
Like what?
like, I don't know, large-scale meditations
Mhm.
or celebrations, those might also influence the human resonance.
Interesting.
So our collective emotions,
it seems possible.
both good and bad, feeding into the Earth's energy.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider.
It is.
But it also
Mhm.
shows that we have the potential to make a real difference.
I mean, if our energy can impact the planet,
Uh-huh.
imagine if we all focused on, you know,
Right.
generating more love, more compassion, more peace.
That's a beautiful vision.
It is.
But I know some people might be skeptical
Oh, yeah, for sure.
about the idea that our thoughts and emotions can actually affect the planet's energy.
Yeah, what would you say to those people?
Well, I understand their skepticism.
Yeah.
It is a big concept,
Uh-huh.
but science is always evolving.
Right.
What seemed impossible a few decades ago
Yeah.
is now becoming more accepted.
Like the idea that our hearts are influenced by solar activity,
Exactly.
that was groundbreaking not that long ago.
Yeah, and now it's becoming more mainstream.
Right.
The study of bioelectromagnetism is really showing us how our bodies work with electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
And some researchers think that those fields
Yeah.
can actually go beyond our bodies,
Wow.
influencing the energy around us.
So our energy fields are interacting with the Earth's energy field.
Possibly, yeah.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, and it opens up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
If our individual energy fields can have an impact,
Uh-huh.
think about what we could do collectively
Wow.
if we all had a common goal,
Yeah.
like creating a more peaceful and loving world.
I love that idea.
Right.
Yeah, but how do we actually do that?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of spiritual traditions have explored.
Okay.
Practices like meditation,
Mhm.
prayer,
Yeah.
and chanting.
Okay.
They've been used for centuries to cultivate peace and harmony,
Right.
and some believe they can have a ripple effect on the world.
So it starts with us
Exactly.
cultivating inner peace
Yeah.
and then spreading it outwards.
Like Gandhi said,
Yeah.
be the change you wish to see in the world.
Right.
It's about showing the qualities
Uh-huh.
that we want to see in the world.
I like that. It's a good reminder
Yeah,
that even small acts of kindness
absolutely.
can have a positive impact.
Every thought, every word, every action,
Wow.
it all has an effect.
Right.
And when we realize that
Yeah.
we can choose to create ripples
Mhm.
that uplift and inspire rather
Yeah.
than ones that create disharmony.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's like we're all dropping pebbles in a pond.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And those ripples can either create beautiful patterns
Right.
or disrupt the stillness.
It reminds us that we have a choice.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
we're not just receiving the Earth's energy,
Uh-huh.
but we're also shaping it.
Exactly. And that's both empowering
Right.
and humbling.
It is.
It makes us want to be more responsible,
Uh-huh.
knowing that we can make a difference.
Well said.
Thanks.
Now, one of our sources mentioned
Yeah.
that as the Earth's vibration increases,
Yeah.
it could activate more parts of our brains
Really?
and even unlock more of our DNA.
That's
Yeah, that was from the Buckrail article.
uh-huh.
It's a really interesting concept.
It is.
It suggests that we're evolving,
evolving.
not just physically,
Right.
but energetically too.
Yeah. And as the Earth's energy field shifts,
Yeah.
it could trigger a shift in our own energy.
So we're not just evolving physically,
Uh-huh.
but also energetically.
Exactly.
And that could lead to,
Cool.
enhanced abilities,
Uh-huh.
deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe.
That's the idea. It's like upgrading our operating system,
Okay.
allowing us to access new levels of awareness and potential.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
But if this is happening,
Uh-huh.
why don't we all feel it?
Right.
Why aren't we all, walking around with enhanced intuition and expanded consciousness?
That's a great question. And it's one that we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive. It's been quite the journey.
It really has. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
You know, from the Earth's natural frequency to the impact of human consciousness on the planet.
And at the end of part 2,
Yeah.
we were discussing how
Uh-huh.
as the Earth's vibration increases,
Right.
it might activate more parts of our brains
Yeah.
and even unlock additional aspects of our DNA.
Like we're on the verge of an evolutionary leap
Right, exactly.
driven by the Earth's energy.
But if that's happening,
Yeah.
why don't we all feel it?
That's a great question.
Yeah, why aren't we all walking around with enhanced intuition and expanded consciousness?
A lot of people ask that. And
Yeah.
some of the articles we looked at,
Okay.
they talk about this. One
Sorry.
article from Elephant Journal
Okay.
suggests that Our sensitivity to energy,
Uh-huh.
it can be different for everyone,
Okay.
and even within ourselves.
What do you mean?
Well, it depends on things like our overall health
Okay.
level of awareness,
Yeah.
even our own energetic makeup.
Some people are just naturally more sensitive.
Right. Yeah, it's like some people have a better antenna for picking up on these energies.
Okay. That makes sense.
And just like with any signal,
Yeah.
there can be interference.
Interference.
Think about all the electromagnetic pollution around us.
Oh, right. Like,
Cell phones, Wi-Fi, power lines.
okay.
All that can create a kind of energetic static
Ah.
that makes it harder to tune in to the Earth's frequency.
So it's like trying to listen to the radio
Exactly.
with a bunch of static.
Right.
Okay, so how do we reduce that static?
Well, being in nature,
Right.
that's a powerful way to counteract it.
Okay.
Nature has its own electromagnetic field that can rebalance our energy.
Right, like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
Are there other ways to reduce the interference?
There are also grounding techniques.
Grounding techniques?
Yeah, that can help us connect more directly to the Earth's energy.
Okay.
It literally grounds us, creates stability.
So it's not just about reducing the noise. It's about strengthening our connection to the Earth.
Exactly. It's about having a clear channel for that energy to flow through.
Okay, got it.
And as we become more in tune,
Yeah.
we might start to notice those subtle shifts more clearly.
It's like we're fine-tuning our instruments.
I love that analogy. It's
Yeah.
like becoming more sensitive
Ah.
to the music of the universe.
One thing I've been wondering about
Yeah.
is this idea that the Earth's energy is accelerating,
Uh-huh.
and maybe so is time.
Right.
Does that mean we're all going to feel more rushed and stressed?
Well, that's a valid concern,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
One of our sources, the article from the Soul Frequency,
Uh-huh.
it suggests that it's not time itself that's speeding up,
Okay.
but our perception of it.
Okay.
As the Earth's vibration increases,
Yeah.
everything seems to move faster,
Right.
including our thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, it's a common feeling.
So if it's just our perception, can we change it?
Well,
Can we, like, slow down our internal clock?
that's where mindfulness comes in.
Mindfulness, okay.
By being more present
Yeah.
and focused on the now, we can create a sense of space within ourselves,
Okay.
even when everything around us seems to be speeding up.
So instead of being swept away,
Right.
we can step back and find our own pace.
Exactly.
I like that. So how do we do that? How do we cultivate that mindfulness?
Well, meditation is a great tool,
Okay.
but even simple things,
Yeah.
like mindful walks,
Uh-huh.
savoring our meals,
Right?
paying attention to our breath,
Okay.
those can all help us slow down.
It's about being aware of each moment.
Exactly. It takes practice,
Yeah.
but the more we do it,
Uh-huh.
the easier it becomes
Okay.
to find that balance.
Even as the world speeds up.
Right.
It sounds like a dance,
It is, kind of.
but a good one to learn.
Absolutely.
Now, throughout our deep dive,
Yeah.
we've talked about how the Earth's energy affects us. But we also touched on the idea
Right.
that our energy, especially our collective energy,
Yes.
might be affecting the Earth.
We're not just passive recipients.
Right.
We're active participants.
It's a bit daunting, but it also shows
Yeah.
our potential to create a more harmonious world.
It's a powerful idea.
It is, but where do we even begin?
It starts with each of us.
Okay.
Focusing on our personal growth,
Ah,
healing our wounds,
yeah.
raising our own vibration
Okay.
that naturally contributes to the collective good.
So as we raise our vibration,
Yeah.
we help raise the vibration of the planet.
It's like we're all tuning forks.
Yeah, I like that.
And the more of us vibrate at a higher frequency,
Yeah.
the more we influence the overall harmony.
It's a great reminder that we're all connected
We are.
and that our choices matter.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up, let's go back to that question we asked at the beginning.
Okay.
If everything is energy vibrating at these different frequencies, could we be influenced by the Earth's energy?
Mm-hmm.
And could our collective energy influence the planet?
The big question.
What are your thoughts now?
Well, it's clear that we are deeply connected
Yeah.
to the Earth's energy field.
Uh-huh.
And this connection goes way deeper than we thought.
Right.
The research on the Schumann resonance is fascinating.
It is.
And this idea that our collective energy might be influencing the planet.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It's a reminder that we're not just living on a planet,
Right.
but we are the planet
Yeah.
expressing itself in human form.
It makes you think about
Yeah.
our responsibility,
And our awareness.
knowing that our choices have a big impact.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
can we definitively answer the question,
Yeah.
of whether we influence the Earth
Yeah.
and the Earth influences us.
It's a tough one,
Yeah.
but just exploring it,
Yeah.
deepening our understanding, that's what matters.
That is what matters.
It helps us live more intentionally to make good choices for ourselves and the planet.
Right, recognizing that we're all connected.
Exactly, all part of this amazing dance of energy.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been really fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
And a renewed sense of wonder and possibility.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Remember, as the Earth's energy changes,
Yeah.
so do we. The key is to stay open.
Okay.
Curious.
Yeah.
And connected.
Connected to ourselves, to each other, and to the planet.
Exactly.
Well said. Thank you again.
You're welcome.